Hello and welcome, dear friends. We are here today to talk about the energetics of the year so that we can best utilize them to move us closer and closer to our divine purpose, passions, desires, missions. So if you are somebody who wants to up-level in 2024, you are in the right place. Please like the video so that more people can have access, and share it if you feel that you know anybody who would like to get in on this information. All right. Beginning with a quick clearing for us before we step into the energies. Inviting all of the old stories from a generational karma to fall away from our bodies as gently as the smoke rises at this time. Allowing any of the blocks that have previously prevented us from being in our highest realities to gently fall away from our bodies at this time. Inviting any negative attachments to leave our fields at this time. Inviting all the highest energies to come through for us, to give us permission to access the highest realities possible. We are inviting now the divine frequencies, the angelic frequencies to arrive, to flood our systems with light, with white, pink, and green light, to activate the highest realities possible for us. Thank you so much for your beautiful presence today. If you have any questions that arise, please pop them in the comment box and I will get to them. But today we're going to talk about the energetics of 2024 and what we can do to utilize those energies to maximize our potential, to step into the highest realities possible. The first thing I would like to start with is the number. So if we add up 2, 2, and 4, we get 8, which is a numerological way of identifying the energies of the year. Again, this is according to the Gregorian calendar, so take it as you will, but we do generally operate on the Gregorian calendar in, business and politics and daily life. So it is energy that we're constantly working with, whether we realize it or not. The 8 is my personal number, so I get really excited about it. But also I just think that it's really beautiful, and I would love to share with you the magic that is part of this story of 2024 that maybe you didn't know yet. So according to numerology, the year that we are in, according to the year number, is going to affect all of us whether we realize it or not. But if we are able to use it and work with it, then we are more likely to have the effect because we are utilizing it, right? Now, 8 is such a powerful number because it always comes back to itself. There's always a return. And there's always a balance as well with this number. So it's really amazing to step into that for the year. The kind of most popular expression of 8 is the abundance. Abundance, the infinite abundance. The infinity represents the unlimited potential that exists. And this year, with 2024 adding up to the number 8, means that we have an opportunity to step into an infinite potential of abundance. Abundance is beyond money. It includes money, but there is so much more to abundance. So if you're interested in stepping into 2024 and experiencing what we call holistic abundance, then this message is for you. Holistic abundance is our ability to experience an overflowing cup type of experience. It means that we always have more than enough. There's enough to share, and that we are comfortable to care for ourselves because we know that there's no limit to what we're able to bring in. The infinite potential is always part of this experience, and so there is no limit to how much we have available. So we're no longer in 2024 with this 8 number, no longer needing to restrict how much we receive because we wonder if there's enough for everybody else. There's no longer a need to withhold how much we give because we know that as much as we give will be returned to us, just like that cycle of coming back. It will be returned to us multiplied. It's so beautiful. So we are really riding this wave in 2024 of coming back to ourselves and experiencing the overflow that is the result of that choice. Now, you don't have to utilize this energy, but it's present whether you do or not. So you might as well, right? That's how I feel about it. So let me know if you feel any connection with the number 8 this year, if you feel a connection with abundance or infinite possibility or self-care, because all of these are the major themes for 2024. Now, there is this sort of split that's happened, right? So we're moving into our next topic around 2024. This split that has happened that Dolores Cannon predicted is becoming more and more solidified. The split has already happened. We have a very clear, distinguished difference between people who are in an organic journey and people who are in an artificial journey. So you get to decide which of those you relate to, but if you're here and you're resonating with my message, then you're on the organic timeline. So the organic timeline is the one that is connecting with higher realities, higher possibilities. It's a progressive experience. And the people who are on this specific timeline will be bringing in new realities to our planet. 2024 is really just the start, and it has this build effect. But 2024 is really where we are bringing in those seeds of whatever we want to create that's new in the planet. So whereas previously where we were just dealing with like a lot of purging and a lot of separation, a lot of confusion, a lot of this like awakening experiences, dark nights of the soul, right? All of that was very familiar for us over the last 3 years. Now we're stepping into a totally new reality where our experience is more about solidifying the new timeline rather than about separating ourselves from the old one. As we solidify the new timeline, we are calling in and allowing ourselves to receive the abundance that is our divine birthright. It's our divine birthright. And that is something that we know in our hearts, in our souls, in our guts, in our minds, everything, every part of us knows that this is our birthright because we choose it for ourselves. Right? Because we choose ourselves, again, this is the infinity, we choose ourselves to be part of the progressive timeline. The reality of 2024 where we are bringing in new realities into the planet. Now, for people who are connected with me, we will likely have a similar piece that we are bringing in. The collective of divine feminines, divine beings, are bringing in specifically messages and new realities around unconditional love, internal peace reflected as external peace, yes, and connection to self and other and community. The connection piece is what I want to touch on next. In terms of connection, I am specifically talking about the astrological transit of Pluto moving into Aquarius, which many astrologers will define within tropical astrology as the official beginning of the age of Aquarius. It's a crossover point. The age of Aquarius is such a strong energy. So many people have been predicting the golden age and a return to the peace and the love, the harmony that we remember from past, but that we are not able to currently experience and we haven't been experiencing for a few thousand years. So now, as we step fully into the golden age, it is a specific piece about connection that is highlighted as one of the main pieces that is coming for us 2024 and onwards. So as we integrate this and we give ourselves permission to really feel into it and to accept this reality, we are starting to have to experience it from a different place. So one of my ways of experiencing this right now is that I have been trained, I have training, education, and experience in private therapeutic practice. And my other training in the shamanic world is so different than that, right? So different. In the shamanic perspective, we heal in community, we heal in circle. And it means that we know it is by relating to each other that we are actually able to access relational healing. And most of us, all of us, have relational trauma. We can say that if you haven't personally experienced it, then you have somebody around you who did, or your parents did, or somewhere down the line you did, or in a past life you had relational trauma. And all of us starseeds will have relational trauma in the times of Atlantis, which we could also call what we are returning to with the Golden Age. Connection is one of the biggest pieces that we are seeding in 2024, because we are now beginning to understand and embody the truth that we heal most effectively in community, by being seen, by being witnessed, rather than in isolation, which is the modern and very new practice of Western therapy. Okay, so the connection piece is really so profound, and we're beginning to understand it. We're beginning to plant these seeds in our life where we are connected to the deeper circle of who we are, not just our blood family, but our soul families, the star seeds, the light workers, the divine feminines and masculines, the twin flames. We are all connecting deeper to ourselves and therefore connecting deeper with our communities and with each other. And it is such a profound relief to allow ourselves to step into this new reality. Now, I mentioned the transit of Pluto and how that's connected. So Pluto entering into Aquarius and the Aquarian age is specifically about community work. It's about being together. It's about the collective experience. It's also about technology and other things, but one of the main pieces is about the collective experience. So what we had previously experienced as individuation is now beginning to soften into interconnected experiences. What we had previously used as healing was isolation in our traumatic experience. And what we are doing now is we're experiencing connection to healing us. Connection is the remedy to addiction. So the pain that we're feeling, the mental health crises that we are experiencing, the disconnection that we have from our own hearts, all of this is related to our ability or inability to connect with ourselves and each other. When we are fully embodying this new reality of the Aquarian age, of the golden age, beginning now, 2024, and building until a peak in 2027, as we're building this, we are experiencing it personally. It means that the things that we've been trying to heal that haven't been, the repeated cycles that we have been having trouble getting out of, the self-sabotage that is repetitive, all of these old stories are going to have the opportunity to fall away this year, specifically in connection and community work. So it's a beautiful change, so needed, so relieving. Now, here is one of the biggest challenges that we're going to confront as we step into this. One, we have this very ingrained Western mentality about isolating when we are in pain. This has to die. And the difficulty with that is that it's so ingrained that it has been ingrained in our medical system, in our therapy systems, in all of the systems. But at the end of the day, we're understanding that the systems we previously had aren't working anymore. They are extremely corrupt. They're infiltrated with infectious ideas, concepts, negative entities. And so we are no longer relying on those old systems to move us forward. We are now bringing in new realities. New realities. It means it's things that we have never conceived of before. We've never experienced it, but we knew that it existed somewhere in the backs of our awarenesses, in our souls, in our hearts, in our wombs. We understand that there is more to life, that there is an alignment of purpose and passion available for each one of us in community. So when we are experiencing this, and I'll give you kind of this, a little bit of a timeline for 2024 so that you can have some awareness of how this is going to move, because it moves in waves, right? It's not a linear process. It's not a scale that goes straight. It's a wave. So in 2024, we have that experience where the old realities and the new realities are still coming and going. We're still kind of figuring out which one is which. We're using our discernment to be able to understand better which one is which. And we are beginning now to ingrain, embody, and integrate the new realities. So we are creating right now the seeds for those new realities. We are planting them, nourishing them, letting them gestate right now. A lot of the process in order to do this requires the purge, which you've probably gone through the majority of already, but there might be throughout 2024 kind of this rocky experience where you realize, like, my seed, my plant of my inspired reality is growing, but there's no room for it to grow because my life is so full still of the old story. And so as 2024 comes around, we will have to still be creating more space to allow for the room for this to grow. The timeline piece, so right now we have the seeds, we have them kind of sprouting over the next couple months, and then so January 22nd, we have what Richard Rudd calls the new year. It's a huge astrological change as well, with all planets being totally direct, as well as the transit of the sun moving into the next sign, into Aquarius. There we go. So as we seed and nourish these seeds right now, we have this sort of peak that will happen in the middle of March. In the middle of March, what we have is the full transition of Pluto into Aquarius. Pluto is rebirth. Now, Pluto has been in Pisces for a few hundred years, and it will be in Aquarius for a few hundred years as well. So this is the huge shift. But in that in-between period, there's kind of these overlaps, you know, like different ideas about where that timeline goes and different perspectives about how to read the stars. But there's this general idea, this general agreement that Pluto moving into Aquarius is kind of the last shift into the full Aquarian age experience. So we have Pluto stepping into Aquarius in March, and then we have it stepping out again, and then we have it in again Aquarius in September, and then it's out again, and then it stays. I believe it's in spring of 2025 that it will move in for the last time, and it will stay at that point. And then it will be in Aquarius for a few hundred years. So this is a general overview. If you want the exact numbers and the dates, definitely go look those up for yourself. They can be really helpful information. But I'm just giving you the overview of the timeline here, this kind of like wave effect that we have. In spring, a little peak, and then we're kind of back to the old story again. And then in September, another peak, back to the old story for one more gestation, and then a full embodiment in 2025. So 2024 is setting us up for the next 200 plus years. What are you going to do with that? Right? That's quite the thing to experience. So like I said, the people who are on the organic timeline, we are experiencing massive transformation right now. So much change is happening for everybody, but the transformation for those of us who are on the ascension timelines, we are purposely choosing the highest realities possible, and we are bringing them in, embodying them, experiencing them, feeling them, and it's so powerful, and it's overflowing, like I described the infinity of the number of the year of 8. The overflow happens because we are focusing on ourselves first, and we're filling our own cups. We're bringing in new realities. We're choosing new realities. We're no longer attached to these old stories that were traumatizing us. We've been in generations and generations of trauma, some of us for thousands of lifetimes, and now we have an opportunity to create a new experience. It is very much this peak of the golden age that has been predicted and talked about for so long by the most brilliant esoteric minds, because it has the ability, and it is going to change the world forever. Which means it changes us forever, because we are the earth. We are an extension of that. We are a living, breathing, creating version of reality. And so those of us who know ourselves as creators, which again comes back to the 8 number, those of us who know ourselves as creators are bringing in new realities, specifically around unconditional love, peace internally reflected externally, and connection. So I'm so happy to share with you that these breakthroughs are coming for us, that the relief is on its way if it hasn't already started to settle in for you, and that you have the ability to utilize this energy to move you forward into your highest potentials if you desire to receive unlimited potential and abundance. Thank you so much for being here, for listening to this update of the energies of 2024. My name is Sun, and I have a free workshop, play shop. If you desire to connect with my work and to utilize these energies deeper, I would love to see you at my Bliss Keys play shop, where we are talking about the divine embodiment of our highest realities. So if you desire to connect with us in that experience, I would love to see you there. You can access that on the link in my bio or in the description box, wherever you happen to receive this message. And you can also find their personal touch-ins if you wish to have some personal support with readings, activations, clearings, these types of psychic development, spiritual development advice. All of that is available as well in the link in my bio if you wish to connect with me personally. But for a free event to teach you about this process of upgrading our realities, I would recommend that you come to the Bliss Keys Play Shop on January 21st, 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And that is where I will go deeper into this topic of how we are actually going to implement this change and access love, peace, and connection. Deepest experiences of this that we have ever had, starting seeding in 24, moving and peaking into 2027 with a full change of leadership, full adjustment of our realities, fully embodied in the 5D realities by 2027. If this is you and you are on this ascension timeline with us and you know that the old realities are not working for you, that you need more in your life, that you are destined for more, that you have a divine birthright to abundance, peace, love, and connection, then please connect with me. Give me a follow, give me a comment, whatever it is that you'd like to do to connect your energy with mine so that I can be here with you, supporting you as we move through this together, side by side. I'm in it too, believe me. The purging was intense. I'm definitely in it with you. But as we move through this together, I am guiding us. I have a personal connection with my personal goddess, Lilith, and she has given me specific information about how to pass this to you, about how to move us into our highest realities, about how to transform ourselves into the highest divine versions of ourselves, aligning our purpose with our passion. So if that's you and you'd like to tap into it, please do connect with me however you see fit. And I look forward to seeing you in the Bliss Keys Play Shop on January 21st. Again, you can find that by the link in my bio, as well as you can find other free events in Calgary. I have a discussion group coming up, as well as personal readings, clearings, and activations from yours truly, delivered to you live. So check all of that out in that link. Or, send me a message. I would love to chat with you. I love chatting and just hearing how you are so that I can create content that helps people like you. I love you so much. Have a beautiful rest of your week. Kind of this winding down. But give yourselves permission to rest, because January is not the time for resolutions. We are just germinating some seeds that we planted, and the seeds plant in the darkness and they just sit there and rest until they sprout. All we have to do is let them rest and make sure they're nourished.